Hope everybody enjoyed their holidays with their families. Um, you know, about the game, I thought it was the best defensive game that we had all year. We were active. We had 13 steals. Held them to 63 points. The things that I got upset about was a couple of shots at the end, plays that we scouted. We let them, score 6 or 9 points on the plays that we knew were coming. But, I was disappointed in that, disappointed in our turnovers. But overall, I thought it was one of the better games we played, this year. Just from a defensive standpoint, I thought our defense was a lot better. I thought it was more active. I thought we had some more energy, and I thought we rebounded the ball really well. We limited them to, a couple of shots, and then we got back out and we pushed it. So again, excited about that. As far as some progress, we needed that after coming off the Maryland game to have a game against a good team, and to be able to come out and respond that way. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen. After you have a loss like that. But I just thought these guys had a focus. They came out, and I thought the energy level was where it needed to be. It wasn't perfect by far. Still got ways to go, but it's a step in the right direction. Any questions?
What was your message coming back after the break, after the tough loss against Maryland, and a rough start to the season? What was your message coming back from the break?
Well, I explained to them, and I don't know if I explained it on my radio show or even in the last game. We had a pretty challenging non-conference. And I remember, when I took over, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out and challenge ourselves. So when you challenge yourselves in these non-conference games, you're playing against teams, that you can lose to. That's the challenge. And I thought, we had a challenging non-conference for our team. I think it will help us going forward. But what I talked about, and I can't take all the credit. It started from Kyle Cuff after the Maryland game. He texted me and he said, "Coach, this season is, basketball season made up into 3 seasons. Non-conference, regular season, conference, and then postseason." And I thought that was pretty impactful. And I thought about it, and so that's kind of what the message. And then I gave Kyle his credit on that, and it was very a lot of insight into that, and we just talked about that, and I just said, hey, let's just finish out our non-conference. Is it where we want to be at? No. I said, but let's finish it out with a win. All right, let's end that season. Let's get ready for the new season, which is the ACC conference, and that's what we're going to do.
Adrian, you said after the Maryland game you were going to change some things. In the beginning of the game, you came out and pressed pretty early in this game. Was that one of the things you had talked about, or was it specific mostly to Bucknell?
No, I think it was just, obviously when your team is not playing the way you want them to play, you got to look at everything, and I had a lot of time after that Maryland game to kind of reassess and think about some things. And, even in that defeat, I seen some things, especially with the press, that I said, this might be something that we might need to, explore more, and that's what, and that's what I thought would help us get going, and I thought it did, and we came back from break, and we really worked on it a lot. So, that's the change. Everybody always thinks it's like personnel, or it's everything. You got to look at everything when it's not going that way. I thought Lucas, our bench gave us a good lift. I think Lucas has been really good for us the last, 2 or 3 games. So, everything is on the table, and again, still trying to get us better, trying to get us to the potential, trying to get us to the standard. I have a standard, and we're not there yet, all right? And obviously, you probably watched the game, you can see my frustration, right? But, I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to lower that, and I got to try to find the guys that are going to try to at least, give me that, competing and at that standard. And what I said was, it may not be the people that everyone thinks it is sometimes. It's just whoever's going to step up and compete, play tough, right? Get on the floor. I don't care about missing big shots, all right? Guys that's going to battle, all right? That's what that's what this is about. And I got to find those guys, and I'm determined to find them, and I will find them.
Coach, it seemed like there were spells in this game where maybe you guys were pretty close to that standard. The offense seemed like it was really good, and then other spells you had several times you were going 3 minutes without a make from the field. How do you make sure that the downs are a little bit less severe?
It's tough because when you're talking about that standard right now, sometimes, that may hurt you, that may impact you sometimes on the offensive end. It just may. You may not have, what people say, hey, your best scorers or your best shooters out there. That may happen at times, but I thought, through that down stretch, we still kept our composure. We still kept playing, and then, we strung together a couple of stops. I think we got a little transition fast break out of there, offensive rebound. So, we just battled it out and toughed it out, and that's all you can do.
Did you make a few threes in the first half, 6 out of 12, I think. Second half, just kind of went back to the same struggles you've been going through all season. How big of a concern is the three-point shooting as you get ready for conference play?
I don't make a huge deal out of it. Obviously, I would like to, we would like to make some more threes. I thought we had some open ones as well. I think even the one at the end of the game, Lucas had one wide open. But I think the biggest thing right now my biggest concern was just us, just battling, just going out there and competing, and obviously, playing tough and playing harder. The three-point shots. We made 7, so again, that's more than what we have been making, and even, again, in a bad loss against Maryland, I think we had 8. So slowly but surely, it seems like, we starting to make a little bit more as we go. Do we need to make some more? Absolutely. But we also have a good balance of guys that can score in the paint. So my team, you got that balance. I think the one thing we got to do is probably try to get to the foul line more, which I thought we did today. We got to the foul line 23 times. When you're not making threes, I think you got to still be able to, put pressure on the rim and things like that to try to, cover up for that. And also, again, we had 13 steals. I think we had 3 in the first 2 minutes, and we couldn't score. So that's frustrating. But creating opportunities, creating steals, we haven't had that many steals since the first game of the season. So that was a good spot.
Understanding he's got a back issue he's dealing with. Is this what you're going to need from Eddie Lampkin nightly in ACC play?
No, I think Eddie's good. Again, I don't want to make this a story, but he's good. He's again, the last 3 weeks he's been fine. Not trying to make that a story. He's fine, but we need him to play the way he played today. Obviously, taking care of the basketball a little bit more. Him and Donnie, we run a lot through them, so they got to, understand that they got to take care of the basketball a little bit more. 9 turnovers between those two guys. We got to do better than that. But we need him to be productive. We need him to, play with force. And I thought, he had a good amount of rest today as well. I thought, 27, 28 minutes. That's a good spot for him, I think.
Adrian, you mentioned Kyle Lowry. He played 24 minutes today. This is the most he's played this season. And was he one of those guys that you thought, effort-wise, was giving you what you needed, what you wanted? Absolutely.
Kyle's tough. He's tough. He competes. He doesn't back down. And that's what resonates with me. And again, he didn't get off the bench for a couple of games early on, and you couldn't tell if you came to practice. He kept his head down, and that's who I want to go to war with. Guys that are going, be tough and battle. And so I was, again, I'm proud that he's kept working, and now he's contributing. He's getting his opportunity. He's taking advantage of it.
Coach, 15 points for Donnie Freeman today. And was also clearly energized in the second half. Was in foul trouble, picked up that technical. So I'm curious, what do you tell someone like him as a freshman to make sure he's bringing that energy for the team, but also not crossing that line and keeping his composure when he needs to?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him. I told him that he's in the gym. He's not outside today. So, but Donnie is, when that motor is running, man, it's running, and so we gotta keep it running, but try to get a little control. I think as he progresses, he'll do better. But again, I love, that Donnie Freeman when that motor is going and he's flying around and he's getting rebounds and stuff like that. I still think I keep challenging him to go up and block some shots because I know he can. But again, we need that energy. I just thought prior to this game we just didn't have a lot of life in us. I didn't feel like we had a lot of energy. And, and today that was what I pulled from it. And even when we came back, I thought these guys had, 2 good practices.
Any update on JJ and where he's at this point?
You know what? He's doing well. He's, coming along well. I wish I had a timetable, but I don't. But I think he's close, but, I don't know. I mean, that's just me. I'm not a doctor. So every time I think he's close, the doctor says, well, he's not that close. So, but I think, I think he's close. He's starting to do some activities. He's starting to, move around a little bit. So, I don't have a definitive answer as far as when, but I think he's close, and I'm hopeful that he's close. Thank you, guys.